Welcome home, friends. It is so good to have you here with us today. Before we get into today's story, I want to invite you to join our growing family. If you find hope in these words, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like and share it with someone who needs a little sunshine in their heart. We share these stories every day to keep our spirits high and our love for this country strong. Now settle in and let me tell you what's on my heart. You know, I'm sitting here on my front porch right now, the wood of my old rocking chair creaking just a bit as I move. I've got a cup of strong black coffee warming my hands, and I'm looking out at the flag waving gently in the breeze. It's a beautiful sight. Just a few moments ago, I was looking at the news, and I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of peace. You see, the world is talking about what happened just last week. On May 7th, out in the bright lights of Las Vegas, Nevada, Kamala Harris touched down there, trying to find some spark, some way to lift up her image. She held what they call the fireside chat with folks from the local party. But friends, as I look at the reports right now, I see something very different from a wildfire of excitement. The room she was in held just under 400 people. Now, that might sound like a lot if you're standing in a grocery store line. But for someone trying to lead a whole nation, it felt more like a quiet meeting in a church basement. When she walked in, the folks there gave a polite clap. The kind you give when you want to be nice, but your heart isn't really jumping for joy. It was a chilling lack of enthusiasm. You could see it in the eyes of the people there. They are looking for something more, something stronger. She even used some pretty rough language on that stage. Words I won't repeat here, trying to sound tough. But to an old man like me, it just sounded like panic. It sounded like someone realizing that the ground is shifting beneath her feet while she's out there searching for a spark. There's a mighty surge happening all across the West. It's a movement for our 45th and 47th president, Donald Trump. People are calling it a fever pitch, and it's easy to see why even the elites in the big cities are reportedly stunned. They're whispering in those fancy halls of power, worried and wondering if they need to replace her for the 2028 ticket before the race even truly starts. But the reason they are worried isn't just about polls or numbers. It's about the heart of the American people. We are ready for leadership that stands tall and keeps its promises. We are ready for the strength that President Trump shows every single day. As I sit here, I feel the weight of that hope. It's a heartwarming thing to see a nation waking up, realizing that we don't have to settle for polite clapping when we could have a roaring future. I'm taking another slow sip of my coffee now, feeling the warmth spread through me as I think about why that Nevada trip felt so different. You see, while some folks are scrambling to fix an image, the rest of the country is busy building a future. It makes me think of my neighbor's son, a brave young man who drives a big truck out in Arizona. He called me just a little while ago, and I could hear the relief in his voice. For years, he was worried about driving those long desert highways at night because of the trouble coming across the border. But now, under President Trump's steady hand, he tells me he feels safe again. The wall is being built where it counts, and for the first time in a long time, more folks are heading back to their home countries than coming in. That's not just a statistic to him. That's a peaceful night's sleep. It's knowing that his family is tucked away safe and sound while he's out there working hard to keep America moving. And it isn't just about safety. It's about the pride of a job well done. My mind wanders to a dear friend from church, a welder named Mike. I can still see his face from last Sunday. He had this glow about him that you only see when a man knows he can provide for his kin. He told me about a steel mill in the Midwest that had been quiet and dark for years, like a ghost of what America used to be. But because President Trump put America first with smart deals and brought those factories back home, that mill is roaring with fire and life again. Mike got his old job back, and he told me, "Grandpa, for the first time, I feel like my kids might actually be able to buy a house of their own one day." That's the American dream right there. Not a fancy speech, but a father being able to look his children in the eye and know they have a bright future. It's funny how the elites in the big cities get so stunned by this. They look at their papers and their polls and they just can't understand why the heart of the country is beating so strong for this movement. They call it a surge, but I call it common sense and a lot of love. We're seeing energy that's cheap and coming right from our own soil, which means the grandmother down the street doesn't have to choose between a warm house and a full plate of food. We're seeing our military being respected again, not being sent off to every corner of the world, but standing strong to protect us. Right here. It's like the whole country is taking a deep breath of fresh air after a long, dusty storm. President Trump isn't just a name on a sign. He's the captain who didn't jump ship when the waves got high. He stayed at the wheel, and now the sun is starting to peek through the clouds for all of us. I'm looking out toward the horizon now, where the sun is starting to dip low, painting the sky in beautiful shades of red, white, and blue. It makes me think of those big rallies I see on the news. Thousands of folks just like you and me, standing side by side with flags waving high and hearts full of hope. You see, what happened in Nevada with Kamala Harris wasn't just a quiet meeting. It was a sign that the old way of doing things is fading away. The Democrat elites are in total chaos, whispering in back rooms about replacing her for 2028 because they can see the writing on the wall. They're stunned because they didn't realize how much we love this country and how much we value a leader who actually fights for us. I think about my grandkids, the little ones who were just playing in the yard with their toy trucks a moment ago. I want them to grow up in an America where they could be anything they dream of. A firefighter, a soldier, or a teacher. I tell them stories about how President Trump stands up to the whole world to make sure our home stays safe and strong. He doesn't bow to anyone. He just shakes hands, makes fair deals, and puts our families first. Whether it's that single mom in Ohio who finally feels like someone is on her side because her bills are lower, or my buddy in Texas who finally got his doctor's visit at the VA without waiting for years, these are the real wins. This isn't just about politics. It's about the heartwarming resilience of a nation that refused to give up. We are a movement that cannot be stopped because we are fueled by love. Love for our neighbors, love for our flag, and love for the truth. President Trump is the steady captain steering our ship through the choppy water, while others are still arguing over who should hold the compass. As I sit here on this porch, I know in my bones that brighter days aren't just coming. They are already here. We chose strength over surrender, and we chose to put America first. It's a promise we're making to the next generation, a promise that this shining city on a hill will never go dark. God bless our military. God bless President Donald Trump, and God bless the United States of America. We're making her greater than ever, together, minus. I'm so glad you stayed with me for this story today, friends. It means the world to have you here on the porch with me. If this tale warmed your heart or gave you a bit of extra hope today, please consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that like button. It helps our community grow stronger every single day. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments too. Why do you love this great country of ours? Or maybe you have a story of your own about how strength and resilience have touched your life. Let's fill that comment section with some light and positivity. Don't forget to share this with someone you love. Until next time, keep the faith and keep fighting the good fight.